92.3 Amp Radio.
What's up, guys? I'm Nina from Shaboy in the Morning here in the StubHub studio, joined by the man of the hour, and not even, like today is one of the biggest days for Mr. Big Sean.
Yes, what up?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No, we're so excited to have you, and we're honored to have you on a day where your baby was born. I Decided dropped at midnight.
It really feels like a baby. People have been telling me happy birthday all day, and they've been telling me congratulations on your new baby. So it feels like both of those combined when you drop something like an album or something that you've just been working on for so long, you know. So
well, you put so much into it, and before we actually got up here and started, chatting, you mentioned off air that there's like so much went into this, like you guys don't even know.
Oh man.
Like thinking back, what do you think was like the biggest challenge putting this album out?
One of the biggest challenges clearly was just making it. We made a lot of it on tour, so there was a studio that was probably like, from where you're sitting to where I'm sitting was probably about as big as it was. Maybe like a little space. I'm telling you, like, it's where we had to make like a lot of the songs. I would say like about 40% of the album. And then I recorded the rest at my house in the studio that I built. But there was so many songs, so the creative process was strenuous on not just me, but everyone around me too, because they would be trying to give their support, you know what I mean? They didn't want me in there by myself all the time, and we just really put like our energy, our like life force, we put like everything that we had into this music. And like I said, we didn't use all the songs. I'm sure some of them will come out later, and some of them I put out before the album just for listeners to have, but definitely making the music was one of the most challenging. Another one was the sampling like process, having to clear samples, having to take samples out, having to replay samples. That's the most irritating like thing in the world, because you get something like perfectly how you want it.
Yeah. And
then it's like, oh, we can't use a sample, and like sometimes you can't you can't duplicate that.
You're like, just let me have it. Come on.
Yeah, and it's so crazy now. This digital age, like you can't even get away anymore. Like you used to could get away with tucking a sample maybe, or like,
oh no,
not anymore. It's like computers that'll tell you.
Everybody is like suing everybody for everything under the sun right now too. So I imagine you're extra careful.
Yeah, but that was one of the most. What other parts were messed up, Zeno? I can't think of anything else.
He's like
all
going
the
through the
legal
list.
stuff.
The legal
yeah,
stuff.
Just craziness.
Well, and even putting together this particular album, you've said a few times in other interviews too that the whole idea behind this is that you wanted to have a story, a message about second chances, even your older self talking to your younger self. And I mean, that's pretty deep to come out with a voice like that. What was going on in your life at that time you decided this is what I want to say?
I just felt it wasn't even a hard thing to do, because that's just how I felt in real life. The whole the part where I decided to make that the concept of the album was when I was in the studio late night. I was talking to one of my homies. It was like 4:30 after like one of them long nights in the studio, and I was telling him randomly, I think we were just super tired, and I was like, man, you ever felt like this was your second time around doing this? Like, he was like, you mean reincarnated? I was like, nah, sometimes I feel like you get to the end of the life and God will give you a redo. Like, all right, man, you dropped the ball. I don't know why I feel like that, but it's just like you messed up. And I was like, what if you messed up on every single thing? Like your your dreams, your love life, your family and all this stuff.
It's devastating.
I know, but then
kidding?
I was like, but what if this is your chance to get it all right though?
Yeah.
And then he was looking at me like, oh, like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But then the next day he told me like, man, that what you said really stuck with me, man. He was like in the studio and he was listening to the music. He was like, it kind of goes with the music. Like maybe you should try and incorporate that in some of the songs or something. Then we were like, how about we make that a story of the album, but not just for, any other reason, to inspire people though, and hopefully they could feel like that on Boss Up, because that's what time it is right now. And throughout the album, it's kind of like I got my older self guiding me, guiding my younger self. So it's like to be your younger self with the wisdom of your older self. I feel like that's something to think about too. You know what I mean? Especially in 2017.
No, of course. So even from that perspective, thinking about your younger self, what would you tell yourself? right now, knowing what you know now? And is there anything that you would have actually changed?
Well, even if I was today able to talk to my younger self, I would probably tell him that not to stress so hard, not to worry so
Right.
much.
It's true.
I'd just be like, man, just like sometimes it's hard to be present. It takes true talent to live in the moment as opposed to always thinking about what's coming up next. I would have told my younger self that.
Just enjoy the moment and live a little bit,
Enjoy the
right?
moments, because even the moments where I was recording in closets and in basements and just like having fun, or high school sweethearts and girlfriends and just like all different things, like back then when I was younger, like I would have just told myself like enjoy it a little more instead of always trying to think of like what's next. Or
I think a lot of people are guilty of that, though, like all the time. I mean, I still do it even today.
yeah, I mean I do too, but the point is I've also been learning to put faith in the universe and faith in myself. And when you have that undeniable faith, and after you put your energy into it and you let it go, it's just like, let it go, man. Let it go in the world instead of holding on to it.
And let it come back to you.
hmm
And it's funny that actually you bring up like talking about your younger self when you're like recording in closets, and like now you're letting go, you're doing things, you're recording on a tour bus in like a size of a closet
Yeah,
all over again.
all
it's like
over
things
again.
come full circle anyways.
Yeah, they do come full circle. But, obviously I make my best stuff sometimes in those moments, so you can't even do anything but just be thankful for it.
Yeah, you have to. And I think that too, for anybody that's had a chance to listen to I Decided, you get to see Big Sean like coming out in a different way where your voice is very clear, almost aggressive and so honest, right?
Thank you.
And one of the songs too, you did dedicate to your mother.
Yeah.
So
Yes, that's probably one of my favorite songs on the album.
Inspire Me?
Mhm.
Inspire Me is what it's called. So when you played that for your mom the first time though, what did she say?
Well, I was just playing her music in the studio in my house, just the album, when it was like 75% done. And she was vibing to it. She was like, yeah, I like this song. This song's cool. Oh, this song is my favorite. Then I played her that song, but I didn't tell her that it was like a song about her.
Yeah.
So she was listening to it. She was like, oh, and then halfway through, she was like, oh, it's about, But then like at the end, so that was like halfway through the verse. And then by the end of the verse, she was like,
I bet she was.
yeah, she was
Are you
crying.
kidding?
Yeah, and then so the thing about that song, that's me singing on there. But I was when I asked her, I was like, well, Mom, who do you want to sing it? Because she's like a big Motown. Like she
Yeah.
was always playing like Marvin Gaye and like Stevie Wonder and Jackson 5,
that stuff
Isley
in the
Brothers in the house. So it was
Yeah.
just like, so who do you want to sing it? Or like Smokey Robinson. Like I love Smokey. I know she loves Smokey. That was one of her favorites. So I was thinking like maybe I could get him to sing it, or somebody like that. But she was just like, no, you need to sing it. Like
Yeah, because it's
It's-
for her.
yeah. So I thought that was cool. That's why I'm on there trying my hardest to sing that.
Stretch
know.
outside of your comfort zone, but you touch your mom in a different way.
Yeah.
And then again, that's another sound from you, more of that heart that we're getting on this album, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like you're super close to your mom though, right? So does she ever kind of get on you about any of the stuff that
Clearly.
you put on? Like, is she like, what are you doing, Sean?
Hell yeah. Yeah, she always checks me. But that's what mom's supposed to do. She be checking me. She be making sure I take my vitamins. She be sending me vitamins to take. She be telling me I need to get more sleep. She tells me
Yeah, of course, that's what they're supposed to do.
tells me to wear rubber.
Good mother. But do you bring girls around her that much?
Nah. Only the ones that are important.
I'm gonna say.
And yeah, that's all I have time for anyway. I don't really do it. too
Well, you're
much.
hustling right now. That's for sure. You're on that hustle. A lot going on. The album dropped today, pop-up shop, all that kind of stuff. But since we're talking about your mom, we're talking about your support system. We need to talk about something specifically. Like, you've got some of the craziest names around you supporting you in your career. Kanye,
I know, man. Can you believe
Jay-Z,
it?
Eminem. No, I mean, that's amazing. And they're giving you the credit, you deserve. So, but when you kind of reach out to them and you're trying to talk to them or whatever for any kind of advice or guidance, do each one of them play a particular role? Like, are you hitting up Eminem for relationship advice? Are you like, oh, Jay, like, is this about your career? Like, what role does each one of them play
I
in
don't
your
talk to
life?
any of them about relationship advice. Like,
Oh, really? You
I
don't
really
think
talk
so?
to. No, I think relationships are meant for you to like fill out on your own and stuff. So
You don't go to anybody for advice on that?
no, because nobody's relationship is the same.
Are you kidding? I would go crazy. I gotta talk to somebody.
No, I mean I talk to the person I'm in a relationship with.
That's maturity right there.
That's what you gotta
That
do.
is
You can't-
maturity.
That's how you keep it straight.
I like that.
At least as it can be, you know. But no, Eminem though, I mean I do talk to like last conversation I had with Eminem was like an hour long on the phone. It was right after he sent his verse, and we were just talking about life and
Because he does have a song, by the way, with Eminem on this new album as well.
yeah,
The
fire.
Detroit Boys standing up.
Yeah, no favors. It's like crazy right there. That's one of my favorites. That was a dream come true. You can imagine growing up in the D, seeing Eminem being the biggest rapper in the world, and him being from your hometown. So just the first time I met him, this is the second song we did. The first song was Detroit versus Everybody, so that was like an honor. So you could just imagine what it feels like, though, to have him featured on the album.
Yeah, he
You know?
doesn't do that.
No, he
doesn't
doesn't.
really do that with many artists, so
He
that's
doesn't.
a huge thing.
I know he doesn't. And he, you know, everybody knows, too. And he's very, very rare. He's the most rare in the whole rap industry, in the whole rap game. So I got to say, I appreciate him for, like, stepping out and being on my project. He also came out at my last show in Detroit, too, which was incredible. That was the only time he performed that year. That was the end of 2015, actually. So he's been showing love, man. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not signed to him. He's not making any money off of me like that. So it's just when somebody, like, genuinely supports you, you know, they're not invested in you in a business sense, you know, aside from just making music with you, that's something that is priceless.
Yeah, it's genuine and you know it. What's the one thing that he has said to you, maybe even advice, as far as your career goes, that stands out in your mind when you think about him?
He told me I was one of the most dangerous MCs, and he was just like, man, every time I'm looking forward to like just hearing where you take it and where you go with it.
That's coming from a dangerous MC.
Yeah. It's coming from God MC.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Jay, it's just like he's really cool, man. They're all really cool. They're all like people that deserve to be where they're at, man. Kanye clearly changed my whole life. Feel
Of
me?
course. Of
That's
course he did.
the most out of everyone. So Kanye, like, he took me and my mom out of debt. You know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
major.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Kanye, when you think back to that day, you were stalking him outside of a radio station in Detroit just to get heard. And,
Yes.
you know, your whole thing right now is about inspiring people, too. So, you know, there's a lot of upcoming MCs that want that shot. Has anybody done anything crazy to try to get your attention to see if, like, yo, Big Sean, can you help me out? Has
Like just rap. Yeah, it'd be people trying to rap for me and give me CDs and rapping for me and giving me CDs. And
like stalking you outside of radio stations?
yeah, I think it's tight.
It is. It's amazing, right?
I haven't really found anybody that's too like good yet, but I didn't think I was that good. I probably wasn't that good when I rapped for Kanye either. I think he saw the potential more than anything, and he helped develop me as an artist. And I have to make sure that I return that favor just in life. So that's probably the sole reason why I'm going to start up my own record label and like.
You are starting your own record label.
Yeah, I am. I'm in the works and process. I have producers already. Like one of my producers, Amir, he produced on 13 out of 14 of the songs on the album. Key Wayne, who like produces for me and Drake and like Beyonce and all these people, and Rob Got Beats, another kid out Chicago, and those are just a few producers I have right now. But I'm looking for artists and just like people to return that favor. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just now getting in a position where I can't really.
Give back, turn it all around.
Yeah, I feel like before it would have been premature, but now it's like, okay, let me try and like figure it out a little bit more.
So,
Not just for me though, for somebody else, because that's just the ways, man. I believe in karma.
oh, 100%. You got to give back, especially after something's been done to you. And I mean, now that you said that and people are watching and listening going, well, wait, like, how do I get your attention? What would somebody need to do to try to even like, I don't know if you like audition or submit, or you just kind of going to go about it and see who pops?
I don't know. Maybe I'll like put something together where people can submit some music or something.
That'd be cool.
Something like that.
That would be
Or-
very, very cool.
Yeah.
But you're about to be really busy anyway, though, because the album drops. You're going to go on tour.
Yeah, we announced the I Decided tour. We're playing Radio City Music Hall here in New York
Okay.
in what day? April something.
April 11th, Radio City.
April 11th, Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah, that's going to be dope.
It's gonna be fire.
It's the
Yeah.
same stage as the Rockettes.
Yeah, same stage as the Rockettes.
It's
You're
cool.
right.
It's pretty legendary.
No, it's gonna be major.
Yeah. So you have the tour. Today you launched pop-up shops
Mhm.
in 4 different cities. Is this
Mhm.
some of the stuff? Are you wearing what they can buy at the pop-up shops?
Yep. Yeah. This was one of the hoodies. You know the merch. I got a shirt on too. Like some stuff on the sleeves.
Ooh, look
the
at that.
flowers
There's
on the-
like purple roses.
yeah, on the sleeves. It's yellow on this side. So
He layered up so he can walk around and just give us a little show.
it's cold
Model.
outside though.
It is cold outside. I
Yeah,
know.
That's why I layered up. It's cold. But yeah, pop up shops for just the people who want the merch and exclusive merch, and we are gonna have merch online and at the tours too. But none of it's gonna be different. So if you can make it out to the pop up shops and get that rare merch,
You
that's
gotta
where it's
do it. You
Yeah.
can wear Big Sean. And maybe if your dream is to wear Big Sean or at least get a little bit close, we're gonna play a little game that some of you may be interested in. And since, Valentine's Day is not too far away, do you think you're a
Wow.
romantic gentleman?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's the most romantic thing you've ever done?
Rose petals on the floor in the bed, and then fucked on top of them. I'm sorry, made love on top of them.
You didn't even have to
Man,
think
love.
about that. He's like, I know exactly what I did. Own it.
Yeah, but stuff like that. I'm into that.
That's sweet, though. That's super cool. Okay, fun. So we're going to do this in honor of your new album, too. I decided. We're going to play a game called Who Decides? Okay? So I'm
Okay.
going to ask you a question that has to do with Valentine's Day, and you're going to say who decides. Either you decide or she decides. Okay? So when it comes to where you're going to go eat, who decides what you're eating and where you go?
I decide.
No, really?
Yeah, because probably I don't want to say too much, but yeah, I probably do decide. Yeah.
Okay, he decides.
But if she decides, I'm with it. Of course.
So it's like whoever's really craving something extra that night.
Yeah.
Okay. Who decides?
That could go either way.
Okay. Well, who decides like what movie you're gonna see? You decide or she decides?
I'm a really good movie buff and critic, and just like I always choose good movies.
So you decide.
I have like a very good talent at that. No, I don't always decide, but whenever I do decide, it's always the right movie to go to.
How is that a talent? How do you even know?
That is a true talent, because when you see a movie that's bad, that's just like the worst. It's like, damn, I could have really been doing something, like
yeah.
really working in the studio. I really could have been chilling and doing something else, or like we could have saw a good movie
Right.
with this 2 hours. So like, but I'm usually pretty in sync with good movies.
So he doesn't mess up.
So is she though. So is my girlfriend. She's good too.
Okay. And then who decides when it's time for a little loving? You decide or she decides?
This game is funny.
I know, right?
We both decide whenever we want.
See, but you act like these are ridiculous questions, but in some relationships, they're not as healthy as you. There are some people that take charge of everything, or they feel like they need to be a certain way. And in talking to Big Sean right now, you can tell he's mature in his relationship.
It's about give and take, you know?
Yeah, that's a message that a lot of dudes need to hear. They need to hear this right now.
Yeah.
Well,
feel
thank
it.
you for playing along. We're really excited we got to have you today of all days, the day that the album drops.
Yeah, major for me. Thanks for supporting Bounce Back. When I turned on to Amp, soon as I landed, it was the first song that came on in the car. So
Oh, yeah?
that was
That's
very,
right.
very. That's a true story too. I even Snapchatted it. Snapchatted Amp.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah. So thanks for supporting that song. Song has like a cool like underlying message to it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course it does.
Glad y'all playing that.
We love it. We love you. We're excited for everything.
And I have more records on the album that need to be on Amp soon. So
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
More records. And then
Yeah.
there's even more music that you were talking about that didn't even make it to the album. Is that going to get released?
yeah, for sure.
Eventually.
Always.
Okay, so all eyes on Big Sean, who is not stopping anytime soon. Is there anything you'd like to say to all the people that are watching it and loving you so much right now?
Hey, I gotta say thank you for people who got love for me. It was a long time coming here. We got a long way to go. I put everything into this music, so I don't even know where I'm looking. But
Right back there. There's
Oh.
cameras everywhere getting every angle.
just keep showing that love. You know, let's make I Decided go crazy. And I'm gonna keep doing this. Thanks for supporting like music with like that got meaning to it, that has a message to it, and y'all the reason. So I'm gonna keep going.
Keep going. Big Sean. Thanks, guys.